In this presentation, we will take a look at multiple choice questions related to governmental accounting, going through those questions and then practicing test-taking skills with them. First question, statistical section is included in either A, required supplemental information other than the MD&A, B, basic financial statements, C, notes to the financial statements, or D, comprehensive annual financial report, the CAFR. Let's go through this again using the process of elimination. Statistical section is included in either A, required supplemental information other than the MD&A. So again, you would kind of think that supplemental information, possibly statistical, would be kind of added to it, so I'll keep that for now. B says basic financial statements. So the statistical section, possibly not part of the basic financial statements, you would think. I don't think that's going to be it. C says notes to the financial statements. And those are usually in text kind of format, so we might have some stats in there, but I wouldn't expect a whole statistical type item there. And then D says comprehensive annual financial report, the CAFR. Now that seems somewhat reasonable because the CAFR is going to be something that's not the minimum requirements. Anytime you see the CAFR, the comprehensive annual financial report, you want to think, okay, this isn't the minimum requirement. This is above and beyond the minimum requirement. But many governmental organizations do that in accordance with regulations for the CAFR. So that seems like a reasonable choice as well. So here we go. Let's do it one more time. We're left with A and D. Statistical section is included in either A, required supplemental information other than the MD&A, or D, comprehensive annual financial report, CAFR. Of the two, we are at D is going to be our final answer. So it's going to be the comprehensive annual financial report that can include the statistical section, which may not be required in the minimum requirements. Next section, next question. Section of the comprehensive annual financial report, including tables and charts showing social and economic data in addition to financial trends, either A, introductory section, B, management's discussion and analysis section, C, not included in any section, or D, the statistical section. Let's go through this again using the process of elimination. Section of the comprehensive annual financial report, including tables and charts showing social and economic data in addition to financial trends. Is that the introductory section? Doesn't seem like that's where we're going to start out. It's a little detailed for the introduction, so I don't think so. B says management's discussion and analysis. And so again, it seems like a little detailed for the discussion because that's going to be a kind of a narrative format. And then C says not included in any section versus D says the statistical section. And of all the section, I would think if they had a question, it would be included somewhere. They probably wouldn't have a question on something that's not included. So I'm thinking D is going to be our most appropriate answer. So final answer, section of the comprehensive annual financial report, including tables and charts showing social and economic data in addition to financial trends, is D, statistical section. Next question, government-wide financial statements report on A, fund accountability, B, fiscal accountability, C, operational accountability, and D, budgetary compliance. Let's go through this again using the process of elimination. Government-wide financial statements report on either A, the fund accountability. Now note we have government-wide. Whenever you see government-wide, you're kind of comparing and contrasting it to the funds. So you could think of it as two separate items that we're recording these items in. The government-wide, government as a whole on the accrual basis, the fund accounting that we're going to break out into specific funds and be more specialized in terms of the activity related to certain activities, those funds. So A doesn't seem to be it because we're talking fund accountability and we're talking about the government-wide side here, which isn't the funds. So that doesn't seem appropriate. B says fiscal accountability. So that sounds like it could be reasonable. C says operational accountability. And that sounds somewhat reasonable. And D says budgetary accountability. And that sounds, again, somewhat reasonable, right? So of these three, the one that's most appropriate to the government-wide, I would basically break it down and say maybe not D because B and C sound pretty good between the two of them. And of those two, it's going to be the operational accountability. So when we're talking about the government-wide financial statements report on, C, operational accountability. This is the final answer. Next question. Which basis recognizes revenues when measurable and available for paying current obligations and expenditures when incurred? Is it the A, accrual, B, modified accrual, C, cash, or D, modified cash? Let's go through this again using the process of elimination. Which basis recognizes revenue when measurable and available for paying current obligations and expenditures when incurred? Is that the accrual basis? Sounds kind of accrualish. B, modified accrual. That's going to be the basis we use. That's going to be adjusted sometimes for the funds. C, cash. That doesn't sound right. Revenues when measurable and available. You know, it doesn't say anything about cash. That doesn't sound right. And modified cash doesn't even sound like a modified, basically, cash method. So it doesn't sound like that's the one. It sounds like something similar to an accrual, but modified accrual, and that's what we're going to go with. That's the final answer. Final answer. Which basis recognizes revenues when measurable and available for paying current obligations and expenditures when incurred? B, modified accrual.